When I was a kid, my days were easy and warm and problem-free, and once a year for my birthday, I would get a video game. So one year, my grandma took me to Toys R Us and told me I could get whatever video game I wanted, and I had gotten intensely into Pokemon this year because Pokemon came out the year before that, and before the games were even out in the US, I was super into Pokemon, like before anyone else. I had read intensely about how well they were received in Japan. I was just so much looking forward to the most epic Game Boy RPG ever made. And yeah, that first year when Pokemon Red came out, that was the most amazing year of my life. Now in Japan that same year, Pokemon Stadium had came out, but it didn't come out in the US. And instead, the first Pokemon game that we got on the N64 was Pokemon Snap. And I was absolutely hyped to play that game because every single N64 game of the original 1997 N64 launch was fucking groundbreaking, completely groundbreaking. Mario 64 was the first 3D video game. Pilot Wings was the first open world video game. Wave Race 64 was the first time I'd seen 3D water. And every N64 game was such a fucking experience. And here was Pokemon Snap, the first 3D Pokemon game. And it was going to be fucking huge because it was the first console Pokemon game, the first 3D console Pokemon game in America. And on top of that, you were going to actually go to the Pokemon world. You were going to see the Pokemon, you were going to live with the Pokemon, and most importantly, you were going to take pictures of fucking Pokemon. You were going to ride through the Pokemon world in a little car like it was a fucking ride at Disney World. You guys just can't understand how fucking hyped I was. So Pokemon Snap was coming out the week after my birthday. But in a fucking miracle, on my birthday, this Toys R Us had it already. And because it was the 1990s, and because they had it just there in their hand, my grandma was cool enough to get them to break the release date. And so I got Pokemon Snap a week early, and I beat it before most people in America even got to play it. And it was fucking glorious. Now, for those of you who hadn't had the experience, the original Pokemon Snap was a simple and perfect game. You play as this kid named Todd, who's really into taking photos. He sits in a gyrosphere and takes all these pictures of Pokemon as he goes through these various different biomes on this Pokemon island until eventually he photographs all the Pokemon in the area. So then he flies into space and photographs the legendary Pokemon Mew, the first Pokemon that made all the other Pokemon, and he really did not want his picture taken. So you had to crack him in the face with an apple, and then afterwards you could go to your local Blockbuster Video and print out all the photos from your game as freaking stickers, because stickers are so fucking cool. Pokemon Snap was a real chill-ass vibe, and it got me into photography for a few good years in my teenage life. So the next summer, Pokemon Gold came out. It came out in Japan first, and all my friends in the neighborhood scored a bootleg copy of it, and I think I got as far as the first gym when it was my turn to play it. A year after that, the real Pokemon Gold came out, and for a year or two, we just lived in the aftermath of Pokemon Gold, where the entire Pokemon franchise just gave itself a whole update for the new 250 Pokemon. And instead of there being 150 Pokemon, now there were 250, and every single Pokemon game got a Gold and Silver update. But, in a strange omission to all these updates, there was no new Pokemon Snap for Gold and Silver. And I just had to dream so hard of this sequel to Pokemon Snap, with new stages, the new Gold and Silver Pokemon. And as much as I thought about it, as much as I waited, it never came. And the world fucking marched on. Cities crumbled, celebrities were born, and eventually the Blockbuster Video near my grandmother's house where I got those stickers went out of business. And you know what else went out of business? The Toys R Us, where I even got the game. Now, all these years later, my grandmother is dead too. And that's not even considering the fact that for the past 3 years, modern society has effectively ended. And I've been sitting inside my apartment watching just everyone die or go insane from all the recent chaos. And so in 2021, after waiting literally 22 years, to the point where any joy or anticipation I once had long since faded, a new Pokemon Snap game came out. Ironically called the new Pokemon Snap, sharing the new naming convention of the new Super Mario Brothers, or maybe the new Coke. And I wanted to play this game, but I just didn't go and buy it. So anyway, this Christmas, one of my relatives who was nice enough to know I really cared got me new Pokemon Snap. And this week, with my busy schedule, I hastily did a run through because I needed to free up my Switch queue so I could buy the new Pokemon Legends Arceus game. But honestly, before I do that, I also need to finish Great Ace Attorney and Doki Doki Literature Club, which I haven't even cracked. But I also got that for Christmas. Hey everybody, sorry for the long preamble. My name is Buster Green, and I was once a man, but the pandemic has turned me into a cartoon character. Anyway, yeah, so I beat Pokemon Snap this week, and here comes a review. Anyway, so I rushed through new Pokemon Snap, and it took me 16 hours to clear the main story. And if I'm being honest, they weren't the most enjoyable hours of my life. Now, new Pokemon Snap mixes up the classic formula a lot. Here's what I liked about it. There's so many more stages, like more than double the original. There's also time of day variation stages where you play the same stage in the day, the night, or the evening. That's actually so good. That actually really put me into the world, and that actually made the game feel way more realistic. All the Pokemon generations are represented in this game, but surprisingly Gold and Silver actually gets major representation, so this actually for all extents was the Pokemon Snap Gold and Silver I dreamed of as a kid. And everything in the game looks really solid. I mean, it's a modern game, so everything's all smoothed out, and the water's beautiful, the sky's beautiful. And every stage is so fully fleshed out and filled with alternate routes, secret switches, and different varieties of Pokemon that will come in and out as you replay the same stages over and over again. But the game's not perfect. There's a lot bad here too. As much of a fan I was of the simplicity of the original Pokemon Snap, this game is not simple in any way, shape, or form. I mean, a lot of video games have been getting really advanced lately to compete with each other, but this is such a stark night and day contrast from the N64 original that I guess they did all this to legitimize it as a modern game, but it's really difficult and really annoying to advance through this game because every stage has to be played literally dozens of times because the Pokemon shift around in their different random configurations, and you have to level up the literal stages so more Pokemon spawn out, causing more interactions, more chaos, and more other cool shit. But I don't know, that kind of dragged for me as a gameplay mechanic because, I mean, it's not really fun playing the same stages over and over again, and towards the end of the game, even though I would unlock new stages, the new stages weren't fun. I mean, they were completely fresh, but I didn't really want to put the time into leveling them up too, just because I was burned out at that point. And I think the main thing that really bogs the game down is there's these achievement style challenges, because I guess they're there to kind of hint at you how to unlock all the shit in this game. But these challenges suck because they're very inaccessible. First of all, they're written very cryptically. They're fucking Riddler riddles. But to make matters worse, they require incredible amounts of mental focus. You basically have to go into a stage, remember what the challenge is, and then dedicate yourself to trying to figure it out and only concentrating on that. And on top of that, what makes it even more unforgivable is you can only read the challenge hint before you start the stage. You can't read it in the middle of the stage, and that's fucking ridiculous. So I literally have to sit there with my phone open to see what the challenge was, because I've already forgotten it with my short-term video game memory. For example, I got obsessed with doing this stupid Delibird challenge because straight up I love Delibird. One of my favorite Pokemon, greatest Pokemon in history, literally the Sinnoh Pokemon. But to do this challenge, you gotta stalk him through this entire frozen tundra level, and then at this perfect point, give him an apple and play him a song so he gives the apple back to you. But no matter how many times I did it, it didn't work. And apparently, I just looked it up on YouTube. I guess I failed because you actually have to give him 3 apples. I only gave him 1 because, again, it was a vague fucking challenge, and the challenge was just give him an apple. It doesn't say give him 3 apples. It just says somehow give him an apple. So, fucking game. I don't know. I don't think these challenges really play out correctly to the way the developers designed them. And they're so insanely difficult to pull off that you almost have no chance of stumbling into them or doing them accidentally. And to make matters worse, even if you did stumble into them accidentally, some of the challenges can only be executed on lower level, lower spawn rate versions of the map, which is just frustrating. Like, if you accidentally completed the challenge before it was assigned to you, it doesn't count. There are also dumb social media features which make the game like modern, and people care about social media so much these days. So yeah, of course, since there's no blockbuster video, you gotta share your experience, you gotta share your photos. Currently, I'm ignoring these because I think it's gonna ruin my experience with the game, because I feel like it's gonna spoil, shit I could do or shit other people have done, and I don't want to be like a copycat or like base what I do about like what other people have done. Like, I don't want to play other people's thoughts in my own game and like be influenced that way. I mean, it's the internet. And you know how the internet works. Eventually some bastard's gonna send me a dick pic or something if I let it, so I'm just completely ignoring the internet functions. Maybe when I finish the game 100%, I'll like upload all my shit, but I don't know if I am gonna finish the game 100%. Because the other big annoyance of this game is progression in this game is just too fucking slow. It takes forever to unlock any of the necessary tools for Pokemon snapping. Like, you don't get the turbo engine, which lets you speed through the levels until like the end of the game, which sucks because the game is so long. And they took out the pester balls, which you used to use to provoke Pokemon with hazardous gas. Now they've been replaced by more politically correct light orbs. And the light orbs are nice and all, and they give off this cool ambient light which helps for photos. But they're annoying because you have to unlock them over and over again every time you change islands. But I respect the ingenuity this creates because it creates an interesting handicap of what's going on without them. But overall, they're kind of a detriment since, again, the game really caps you in the knee every time you unlock an area, and that all sucks. So, instead of Professor Oak, you're working with a strange professor called Professor Mirror, who looks almost exactly like Professor Birch from Ruby and Sapphire, except really in shape and not fat. He has these two super annoying kids with him. The girl is absolutely insufferable. I just wanted to slap her every time she told me to do something. And the boy is kind of pivoted as your best friend / the kid who does all the same shit you do, but he's worse at it, so he looks up to you. And finally, rounding out his team of weirdos is middle-aged Todd. Todd, the protagonist from Pokemon Snap, returns here as a middle-aged man. And it's honestly a weird reunion for me because he's the same age as me, and seeing adult Todd in new Pokemon Snap doesn't hit me as, weird as seeing the elderly Ghostbusters or strange as wimp-ass Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, but there's the definite weirdness of, hey, how come you're an adult now and no one else in this franchise is? And also, I'm kind of reminded of the fact that he crossovered into the anime for like 3 episodes. So I like really want to talk to him like man to man about the greater implications of this. Like, hey, how are adult Ash and Misty doing somewhere in the grassed Pokemon multiverse? And is he actually going to take any legal responsibility for all those Pokemon he gassed with pester balls back in the 1990s? Who knows. But I should probably talk about also the Illumina Pokemon. They're stupid. Okay, so the old Pokemon Snap only had one boss. The final boss was Mew. Mew didn't want his picture taken, so you had to crack open his shield by chucking apples at it. And now in this game, they took that Mew boss battle and they differentiated out into these 6 Illumina Pokemon battles that kind of operate in the same you're a boss context. I mean, aside from Meganium is the first boss, and it's just there being cool. So these stagers are interesting, but they're definitely annoying, and they get more annoying as you go through the game because the Illumina Pokemon are just difficult to photograph. And there was one fucking boss battle that drove me absolutely insane because all my pictures just didn't develop. They turned to shit because I didn't realize that the Illumina Pokemon had a barrier like Mew had back in the day. None of my fucking pictures developed, and I fucking wanted to scream at this guy because he ruined my day. New Pokemon Snap is a really good game. I honestly appreciate the work that they put into it, and I appreciate that they really did modernize the Pokemon Snap experience for, to be a AAA game of the modern era. But honestly, with my hectic lifestyle of lately and all the responsibilities I have of being an adult, I don't know if I can dedicate the time to actually finishing Pokemon Snap and snapping all the Pokemon. Which is a real downer because I want to do that, but the old Pokemon Snap only had like 60 Pokemon, and this one has like over 200, but at least I got through the story, and that was good enough. New Pokemon Snap gets a 6 out of 10 because it's a goddamn new Pokemon Snap game, and fuck it, I waited 22 years, and they really did try to raise the bar. I love that they added a day and night cycle. It does make the game feel way more realistic, and I love that you can save like 300 photos now, so, you know, go for it. Cons though, I honestly want to say it's too much Pokemon Snap. Like, the old Pokemon Snap was so chill, and this is like fucking the career of doing Pokemon Snap. Leveling up the stages takes too fucking long to the point where it's painful. And another pain point is that the game just makes you take too long to unlock the stupid turbo engine. And then I hated the challenges. The challenges are confusing. They don't make sense. They're all fucking riddles, and they're shockingly difficult to execute even if you solve the fucking riddles. And then I hate that you can't check the challenges inside of the stages, which just make the challenges all the worse. So, new Pokemon Snap was fundamentally weird, because I waited 20 years for this game, and now I'm so fucking old that I'm just standing here faced with the fundamental weirdness of this game took so long to come out that now I'm an adult, and I don't know, it's just not as fun as it used to be. At least somehow Todd's there being an adult too, and honestly, that does kind of make me feel better, because here we are together as adults, still taking photos of Pokemon, and you know, maybe adult Todd being there just might have pulled me back from the brink of the midlife crisis that this game put me into. I'm Buster Green, and I played Pokemon Snap over 20 years ago. And here I am again. Please like and subscribe. My YouTube channel has really not been doing good this month. I don't know why. I guess because I've been busy and I haven't been putting out videos at the same rate I used to. But yeah, please subscribe. I'm very, very close to being monetized. Hope you guys feel better, because seasonal depression is real. I'll check you next time. Later.